Welcome to the Celtic Way pre-match Celtic versus Ross County line-up reaction. And as you can see from the strap line, Mike Nawrocki's been dropped and Alexandro Bernabei makes his first start this season. That's probably the big takeaway from that starting 11, Ryan. I'm Tony Haggerty at Haggerty10 on the X and Twitter handle. I'm joined by Ryan McGinley at the Ryan McGinley, who's somewhere outside Celtic Park or in the close proximity of it. How are you, Ryan? All good?
Looking forward to the game today. Bit of a surprise with the starting lineup, especially in a number of positions. Well, one in particular. I'm not going to name any names, but left back. I'm looking forward to today's game. The bench is quite exciting with the fact that both Vata and Kuhn are both on the bench. Two players that could come off the bench and make an impact. But yeah, it's about as strong in 10 out of the 11 positions in terms of the players that you could have in the team. I think it's as strong as you can be. The big wild card, I'm calling him a wild card because you don't know what you're going to get with him, is Alexandro Bernabei, unfortunately. It's a big show of faith from Brendan Rodgers throwing him in, and it's also a show of faith for Liam Scales from Brendan Rodgers. The fact that he could have been deployed at left back, but he's been so good at centre back that he swung the axe on Nawrocki. Unfortunately, I would have preferred to have seen him in the team today, but I trust that team will be more than good enough to beat Ross County this afternoon.
He did say he doesn't like to tinker too much with the central defensive pairing, so I guess. But I just thought he would naturally move Scales over and not go for the wild card, as you say. But the wild card's in, he's got a chance, so up to him to see. And joined by just 83 people joining us live, so thanks very much, guys. We'll get your comments up. Mark McQueen, afternoon troops, afternoon to you. Mark Conley comes in. Interesting that Bernabei gets his chance. He would have played Scales at left back. That's exactly what we did. We got 10 out of 11, myself and Ryan, because we picked the same team, because we think similar along these lines. And Mark, he's saying he's putting Bernabei in the shop window, possibly, yep. And Mark Conley coming back in and saying he's glad to see Vata on the bench again. Yeah, I think we're totally endorsing that. Charlie McLennan, and saying, hi guys, hopefully a few goals today. Yep, indeed. Ryan, what are you expecting today? An all guns blazing. What did you say? Celtic would win 3-0?
I said 3-0, but I'm feeling more a 4-0 this morning. I woke up on the right side of the bed this morning, and I'm feeling good about today. I've just got that good feeling, perhaps down to the fact that Ross County have not been firing on all cylinders recently. I think their last win was in December. So it's been a while since they've won a game. Really struggling under Derek Adams after having that initial new manager bounce. I thought that Malky Mackay was doing an okay job. It seems as if he wasn't, and he got the bullet. And Derek Adams came in. He got a couple of really good results to begin with, and now it's kind of fallen by the wayside. I'm hoping that Celtic can take advantage of that. Because by all means, it's going to be a close league this season. These are the games in which Celtic should be circling. They should be circling for goal difference if that could potentially come into play. I'm looking at home games and I'm looking at Celtic should be scoring quite a few against their opponents. Not discrediting the opponents. Ross County have got some good players, especially Jan Danda, who's had some Premiership interest. I think it's from Hearts. He was a former Liverpool boy, so Brendan Rodgers will know all about him from his time there. He was a Liverpool youngster. But yeah, I would expect Celtic to come out all guns blazing and putting a few goals past them today. I think they'll be in the mood after scoring quite a few against Bucky Thistle, so they'll be hoping to replicate that against Ross County.
Over 100 joining us now, Ryan, 108 and rising. So thanks very much, guys. Pre-match, post-match morning briefings brought to you by MPH Group, and they are for all your plumbing, heating, kitchen and bathroom needs. They've still got the Navian boiler promotion, and you can check that out and all the links to their social media sites and their phone number in the description of this video. But they are Scotland's award-winning all-trades specialist covering the whole of mainland Scotland. So we thank MPH Group for that. And also, guys, if you like what we do, hit that subscribe button. The YouTube, we are approaching 9,000 subscriptions, Ryan, is it?
We're well on the way. Yeah,
It
gets smaller and smaller every day. Hopefully we can get that by the end of next month, I would hope, or maybe midway through next month. That's definitely a target that's attainable. we thank everybody for joining us and for subscribing to the channel. It really helps us with the algorithm, etc.
Yes.
But we cannot continue to do it without you. We want to keep on growing this as a brand and growing this as a community in the comment section. So if you are interested, if you haven't made a YouTube account already, please make one and join us in the comment section. And if you do have a YouTube channel or you do have a YouTube account, please click the subscribe button and you'll be notified when we go live.
And subscribe to the website as well, www.celticway.co.uk/subscribe. You get access to everything that's written on the website. Quality articles on there from myself, Ryan, various other contributors like Alan Morrison, Stuart Ross, et al. So that's what you do. Hit that subscribe button, guys. www.celticway.co.uk/subscribe. £4 for 4 months or £18 for a yearly subscription. You know the drill. Do it. As the old boy would say, you know it makes sense. Isn't that right, Ryan? It makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's good content on there. We will be bringing out instant analysis minutes after the game is finished. So we'll endeavour to get that to you as soon as possible. We'll also have post-match interviews, and we'll obviously have the content that comes on the YouTube channel as well. We'll be live after this game. But I'm really looking forward to this game, Tony. I'm quite excited. Kuhn on the bench, really excited to see what he can do coming off the bench. Hopefully he's coming on when Celtic have a few goals against their opponents and he's got free rein to cause damage against the opposition. But I'm also looking forward to seeing Bernardo and O'Reilly again. I think there's a real blossoming partnership coming through. It seems as if Bernardo is O'Reilly's understudy at the moment, but I'm getting mixed up when watching the two of them. I'm thinking one is the other and the other one's the other one.
I did say that to you, didn't I say that to you the first time I watched them? I told you I was getting mixed up with two of them when I saw them in the flesh, because they looked similar on the park, and you picked up on that as well the first time you saw them. And yeah, so I'm happy that I wasn't seeing things and my old eyes weren't failing me, Ryan, as they say.
You were seeing double, but we were all seeing double.
Indeed.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing them.
Yeah, more comments coming in, so I'll just flick a few up. Mikey Boy saying, "Hail, hail everyone, unbelievable. Bernabei's been given a nod, that's a shocker." Paul O'Brien saying, "Score predictions for today." And TJ Lindy coming in saying, "Do you think Brendan Rodgers talking about Rocco Vata in the striker position when he was saying in his press conferences about bringing through young talent but not bringing them in?" Hazel Finn, afternoon Hazel, how you doing? Can't second guess Brendan Rodgers. Thought he might sneak in Ralston instead of Bernabei. And then Marquis saying Latin contingent of Bernabei, Bernardo, Palm on the left should be interesting. Might play well off each other. And Matt
that is an interesting one,
yeah, that's an interesting point, that actually, yeah. Will certainly be able to converse and communicate, won't they? In their native tongue, so that might work to Celtic's favour. You'd like to hope so. Yeah, expect.
Yeah, Bernardo will be speaking Portuguese, but I think they'll have a rough idea of what they're all. Football's a universal language, as Brendan Rodgers said.
Correct.
In his first press conference when returning as Celtic manager. So you're hoping that they're all speaking, or they're all singing from the same hymn sheet, and they're singing from the same songbook as well.
Yes, Mark McQueen, I hope to get Celtic supporters get to see Kuhn today, and if he's went for Abada, does that say about? And if he's chosen Abada to play, does that say that Leo's future that was being spoken about?
Well, the media were saying last night that he's going absolutely nowhere, and Brendan Rodgers has said he's not for sale. So I think that puts an end to all of the discourse surrounding Leo Abada. He knows where he lies. I hope he gets a good performance today and really cements that position. He'll be feeling the pressure. They'll all have been seeing Kuhn in training. It's up to him to take that position and make it his own once again, because it was his position for a good 1.5 years. Maeda took it.
Let's say, Ryan, that Rodgers had kind of manoeuvred it back to football matters again. So glad that we're talking about that again with Leo Abada.
Man management.
Yeah, of course. And Bernardo to score again says Ewan Boy Martin, how you doing, Ewan? All right. Had the pleasure of meeting Ewan Boy Martin recently, so nice one. I hope you're well, fella. And TJ Lindy saying Coombe seems a lot like Maeda. I'll be the judge of that when I see him for the first time, TJ Lindy, and hopefully that'll be today. Mikey Boy come back in. Not sure there'll be much defending going on down the left. I think he's talking about the players that are playing on the left-hand side. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to this, Ryan, as well. Just back into the league business, the Scottish Premiership campaign. No room, no margin for error. Professional, clinical, get the job done, Celtic. And as you say, maybe turn the screw and score a few goals in the process, because it could come down to that in the end up, Ryan.
Yeah, as it stands right now, Rangers are beating St Mirren 1-0. You know, it's only 1-0. I would have thought it might have been a bit more comfortable than that this afternoon. Celtic have a chance here at home, and I know they've got quite a few away games coming up. So at home, this could be a good chance to get the goal difference up and get it higher. I know that was Rangers' game in hand, so it'll all be level, and then Celtic will play a game more after today. But it's all about getting those goals, and goals are so important. I want to see Kyo go back in the score sheet and domestically. I want to see Palma getting goals and assists. Matt O'Reilly, you know, he has been a consistent goal scorer. I'd like him to not take a back seat, but score maybe like a couple of goals here and there, but allow it for Kyogo. Kyogo's the striker. Matt O'Reilly, it can come to him easily, but you don't want him being the main source of goals. I want him to provide just as much as score goals. If you can even out those two stats, I think he'll be a no-brainer for player of the season. But now Bernardo's contributing as well. Abada will contribute. I want to see Kyogo today.
That the 60 million man you're talking about there, Matt O'Reilly? Ryan
yeah,
McGinley.
Only one person in the comments yesterday pulled me up on that. And the reason I said that, I'm not saying that he's worth 60 million. I'm just saying
I knew exactly what you meant. Yes, exactly.
For the Champions League. If you're going to get to the Champions League, you need Matt O'Reilly to win the league and get things over the line domestically. That's how much, not as a player, but as a component in this team, that is how much he's worth, because that's what next season is worth.
Yeah. Tricky Dicky coming in and saying, want to see Bernabei play, prove that there's a player in there. And someone else came in and said, Paul Torr came in and said, whatever Scales at left back for his height alone, as always, set pieces is where Celtic are at their weakest. So there you go. Scott Gallagher saying Scales is covering two positions then. So it depends what way you look at that. And Hazel Finn coming back in and saying Kogo stand a better chance of scoring with Abada on the pitch. I do believe that as well. Yeah, that set up last week. We've missed that early first time ball, one touch finish. And the Edward Wyevos coming in making a point at someone else made Latino flair down the left flank. Yep. Someone else had pointed out that there. Ewan Boy Martin saying he would love for Quant to score a late screamer for St Martin Knickard. So
he's came off the bench. That can't happen.
And Kaiser, how you doing, Kaiser? Hail legends, give Vata his chance. He's saying I'm sure we might see Rocco Vata at some point today. Interesting one that he's starting to make squads, and hopefully he'll get some more game time, Ryan, and we will find out in the fullness of time about the contract situation.
Yeah, definitely. There's definitely one player that we need to talk about with regard to contracts, and he's in that. He's at the back today. He's back, and he's a centre back. How many times are you going to say back in a minute, Ryan? But yeah, Cameron Carter-Vickers back in that lineup. When he is fit, as we said yesterday on the not the emergency podcast, the breaking news podcast, when he is fit, he plays in that defence. I cannot wait to hear the ovation that Cameron Carter-Vickers gets when his name is announced amongst all the rest of the players. I think it'll be quite a resounding one. Doesn't matter if it's just...
You'll be making the most noise, I would have thought there, Ryan.
Hatati's not back yet. I won't do that. Yeah. He's started the Asia Cup. It looks as if both Japan and South Korea will be going far in that competition, just the way the draws are. They could probably meet each other in the final, I presume. So, you know, that's worst case scenario. We want to get some of these players back. Yes, we want them to do it well internationally, but at the same time, you want them back and playing for Celtic. It's not the ideal time of year for them to be going away and playing football. But Hatati, the good thing about that, and Maeda as well to an extent, and the other players that are away, Yang and Tilio to a lesser extent, they'll all be fit coming back. You know, it's not as if they'll need a long break or anything. They might have a week off or something, but they'll be ready to play. They'll be in perfect physical condition if they've been training every single day. So, yeah, no complaints with that whatsoever. Looking forward to seeing them all get back. But while they're away, it's time for these players to step up and make sure that they won't automatically get back in the starting lineup when they return. It's good to have food for thought in these positions. And yeah, I'm hoping that Abada can really strike a chord today and have a really good performance. Palma too, just everybody really. Yeah.
Over 160 people joined, 166. So thank you for your company, guys. Really, really appreciate it. Kaiser, big Cameron, carpet slippers, strolls these games. What a talent. Yeah, you were making the point that he scored his first goal for Celtic against Ross County with a long-range deflected strike. You would take that again. There's one of my dogs getting in the act saying they're delighted about Cameron Carter-Vickers' new deal. That's a think that's Oscar giving it the thumbs up or pause of approval there. But there you go. And,
it's an interesting one with Bernabei, isn't it? Because if he has a good performance, you can already see what will happen if he has an outstanding performance today. It's one of those ones where you want him to do well, but not too well that it totally negates needing a left back. I think Celtic have always needed a left back, regardless of who's been playing in that position this season. I hope he does well. I know what he's like. I know what he can bring to the side. I know what he can bring on a negative end and a positive end. So I'm hoping that he can do well. I think it's his first start of the season.
Yeah,
I believe that is so. So yeah, we'll see how he does.
I think erratic best describes him, right? At best.
Who is the player that you mentioned that says every pass is an adventure?
Scott Nisbet, Walter Smith said
Scott Nisbet. Every touch of the ball is an adventure for Bernabei. Yeah. I don't mean to discredit him with that, but it's just from what I've seen when he's played for Celtic, he's been erratic. That is the perfect word. He's chaos ball. Now, Yakimakis was called a chaos ball player. He thrived on that. Bernabei was actually a good crosser into the box for Yakimakis. So it shows that maybe there was a bit of a link between the two there. But yeah, I like a safer option at left back, I'll be perfectly honest. I do like a speedster on the left, but at the same time, I like somebody that can do it defensively, and I do worry when he's defending.
Yeah, David says Bernabei's in for his short window appearance. David Stewart saying a bit of pace of a left back is something we've missed, and he comes right back in and says great to see Vickers not a bad starting. So yeah, and Mark McQueen saying speak about Bernabei like he was a couple of 100,000 signing project player. Celtic spent they spent 3.75 million on him, and that's more than that. Yeah, and there's nobody more disappointed about the fact that Alexandro Bernabei up until this point hasn't cut the mustard than ourselves. So it's Docboy67 saying Bernabei will do a scales and reinvent himself and have a stormer Ryan and take it from there. We shall see. But no, lots of intriguing subplots today. Captain Kalmak's back as well. Carter Vickers is back. Bernabei gets a run in the team. You're hoping that Abada can hit some form. Kyogo back in the goal trail, and Matt O'Reilly and Bernardo just continue to do what they do. And Maestro95 says Abada really helps Kyogo score.
I think they've got a really good partnership between the two of them. I think that helps that they both came into the club in similar times. You know, I think there was only a couple of weeks between the two players coming to the club, so they've been there for a good 3 years together, coming up on nearly 3 years, 2.5, 3 years. So they've been there from the start of Ange Postecoglou's reign. They've both signed up to new deals under Brendan Rodgers that shows that they're still happy at the club. So it's good to see that those two players will continue to link up. Hopefully that'll be the case today. Palma, I think Palma has got a lot to offer, both in terms of providing goals, scoring goals, making goals. I know making and providing are probably the same thing, and that. But I said that too early. Palma's on the goal and assist trail is absolutely brilliant. I can't see him not scoring today. I can't see Palma not scoring. I remember watching him last time at Dingwall when he scored that screamer against Ross County, the one that just went up and down. It looked as if somebody put one of those trackers in the ball, and it was like it was remote controlled. It went up and then down. It was the technique on it was absolutely incredible. Looking forward to watching him play today. Bernard, that left side, as it has been pointed out, is quite exciting. Yes, there might not be a lot in the way of defending, but there'll be a lot of attacking. Bernardo likes to get in and around. Bernabei likes to attack as well. And Palma, we all know about Palma. So looking forward to this one today. Hopefully a few goals and 3 points.
Loopy 33, what odds 48 hours ago for Bernabei, O'Reilly and Abada starting? There you go. And Neil Reid channeling his inner me. Time for a rip-roaring, free-scoring, never boring Celtic performance. Couldn't have said it any better myself, Neil. In fact, I did say it, didn't I? So there you go. Rip-roaring, free-scoring, never boring, Ryan. We'll settle for that, won't we?
Yeah, absolutely. That's what we want. There has been a couple of up and down performances this season. I just want to see Celtic get that consistency. Much like what Man City do. They're now in the business end of the season, and this was mentioned last night somewhere that I was watching. It was either a podcast or it was something else. Once you get into this business end of the season, you want Celtic to just roll off 5, 6, 7, 8 wins in a row, you only want them to drop points if it's like maybe from a loss coming to a draw. But even then, a draw is like a defeat in this league. I just want to see Celtic continue to win games, put pressure on their opponents. Because if Celtic win all their games from now until the end of the season, they'll have 2 trophies in their cabinet. If they can continue to do that, then I think it will all be good.
Exactly, and I'm expecting a big performance from Celtic today. I'm expecting them to want to. The attacking players want to score goals, get on the score sheet, and I'm expecting Kuhn to come on, make his debut, and TJ Lindy's come in and asking his thoughts on what Holmes' contribution could be today. I'm sure if he gets on the park, he'll make a contribution like last week. Thought he did well last week, but I was accounting for the level of opposition, but he was involved in a lot of good stuff. Ewan Boy Martin coming in 16 games, 16 wins would be very nice. Well, be academic then, wouldn't it? Come May, Ryan, there would be 2 trophies in the cabinet. And David coming in saying Ross County's manager Derek Adams has criticised the Scottish League standards. Let's humiliate him with a scalping, he's saying. That would be nice too.
Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of his comments, to be honest. I much prefer when managers like to talk up the game rather than punch down on it. I wasn't a fan. I remember listening to it and I was like, it was funny to begin with, and then you sort of you listen to it again, you're like, what good does this bring? What positives does this bring to the game? It doesn't. It has more negative eyes on Scottish football when he says stuff like that. I think there's teams that are far better than some of the teams that are in League Two in England. So, I wasn't a fan of the comments whatsoever.
Easily better than some of the teams in League Two in England. So, had a wee say on that yesterday when we were talking about Cameron Katowice signing a new deal on the standard of the game. So, if you want to have a look at that, you'll hear my thoughts on that. I think we do ourselves a disservice talking our game down. Should be talking it up at all times. But I do feel that we're a better league than a lot of people give us credit for. And if you don't believe me, then ask those guys that have came up from down south and from various parts of the world and played in it. They enjoy it, and they say it's tougher than you think. I'll go with their thoughts on it, Ryan. But
yes, absolutely, they've done it.
Yeah, correct. TJ Lindy come back in saying Palmer only scores bangers. That'll please you, Ryan, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, indeed. But no, 180 people joining us. Thank you guys, really appreciate it. We're trying to flick as many comments up as possible. Martin Nicol, 3 points is a must. Indeed, get your predictions, scoreline predictions, guys, in the chat, and we'll fire a few of them up. Ryan's gone 3-0, I've gone 4. So we'll see Hazel Finn straight in there. Would really like a clean sheet, so she's sticking to 4-0. I think that's the Rangers game finished. I think they've won 1-0. Kaiser's 4-0 for Mark McQueen.
St Mirren hit the woodwork late on in the game. So, but that's the thing. I think Celtic are under no illusions that there's a title race on.
Yeah.
And that might just light the fire in their bellies a bit, because there hasn't been. There's been some half challenges, but it seems as if this might go the full way this season. But yeah, these are what as much as you like dominating the league and winning every season, sometimes the most sweetest wins are when you've had to work for it. And yeah, I think that it'll be a tight one.
Maestro 95 saying 6-1. Neil Reid 4-0 to Celtic. And Welsh Paul, Celtic need goals today, so 6-0. CFC 1888 saying 5-0 Celtic. So lots of big results, Ryan, in the comment section there from people. Lots of big scoreline predictions. I'll take any of them, to be honest.
Yeah, the more goals, the merrier. Need that goal difference, especially in home games as well. I know Celtic have been scoring goals away from home, but when you've got home court advantage, you've got to take it and make it count.
Scott Gallagher, tongue-in-cheek, 3-0 Bernabei hat-trick. This is why I don't gamble, he said.
Yeah, you'd have no money, mate.
Fair to be hat-trick.
But then again, Izagiri was on a hat-trick. I can't remember who it was against, but they allowed him to take a penalty. And I think it's still flying just now. I think it's halfway on its way to Honduras.
And remember, Hatate was put to full-back. Remember, he scored twice and hit the post.
He had a really good game that day.
Yeah, exactly. So, Indeed, from the darkest recess of my mind, I remember Hatate going to full-back and having an absolute stormer. So there you go. It is possible. We wish Alexandro Bernabei all the best. Hope he comes through it with flying colours. As you say, you don't know what you're going to get with him. But Brendan seems to trust him. So Derek coming in saying no goals conceded. And Jeza A saying 60 million reasons to win the league this season. No ifs, no buts. Winning all our games is a must. And TJ Lindy saying 4-0. And David saying need to play in low crosses to Kyogo, just like Abada played in Kyogo against Bucky Thistle. Yeah, that's we pointed that goal out at the time, and we say we've missed that kind of contribution. Plain and simple, win all our games which you now end the season. Do the double, says Kaiser. And Maestro 95 says Celtic's midfield runs over every other team in Scotland. So that's a fair point well made too. They still say Celtic have got the edge in terms of their squad personnel, but they are in a title race, and so bottom line, it's been, what's that? The gap reduced now to 2.
2 points. That's how all games have been played now.
Yeah, all games have been played. So yeah, so Celtic pendulum swings back to Celtic today to go and ask a question against Ross County at home. You expect Celtic to defeat a struggling Ross County at home, but like everything else, got to earn the right and got to win your individual battles, and hopefully that Celtic team that you can see on the screen there is good enough to do that today. I'm fairly confident in the players being able to understand the assignment again today, Ryan.
Yeah, absolutely. There really is no margin for error at this point in the season. I feel like every drop point, whether it's Celtic or Rangers, will be capitalised upon with our team. It's exciting. You know, every game now has a bit more gravitas to it as well. I'm going to look to the positives. These are what you look forward to these throughout the season. I know that it is nicer sometimes to win the league by 15, 20 points, but you know, these are the sweetest ones when you do get them over the line. It's up to Celtic to just keep on doing what they're doing. They're on a really good run of form. You know, those 2 games, you look back at them, the Hearts and the Kilmarnock game were really, really annoying because you opened the door ever so slightly. Yes, that was sort of evened out by the fact that Celtic beat Rangers at Celtic Park, but yeah, looking forward to this one today. Hopefully a few goals and 3 points and up the road, basically.
Maestro 95, no complacency though, keep proving and improving. Ricky Taylor 6-0 to the boys. Hail Scott Dougal. Enjoy the game, everybody. He's going for 5-0. Edward Wyavoz, a bad caution to Kyogo like the good old days. Sean Stout, 4-0 Celtic. And Hazel Finn saying she really hopes it. Bernabei has a good game. I think he knows he has a chance today. So there you go. That's about just short of half an hour. Ryan, you want to get yourself in place and
I'll need to head
go and watch the football. And Danny Boy coming in and saying, honestly, he doesn't give a monkeys about the Scottish Cup. He just wants to get the league done. That's imperative. Of course, league's always
I think the two come hand in hand. I'd much rather Celtic winning the Scottish Cup final in the last game of the season rather than the last game being the week before.
And Big Bruce saying McGregor's 450th game today. Hope he gets a goal. And Brown
He's going to join that 500 club very soon.
Oh, easy. Brown Warren saying he'd rather Celtic had a proper challenge every season as it sets Celtic up for a step up in Europe, having fought all season. Yeah, of course. Yeah, I'm not averse to a title race. So, as you say,
just as long as Celtic win the race.
Yeah, correct. Exactly. As long as they come out on the right side of it, that's fine. Not a problem with that. Guys, 243 of you joining us live. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Always say it, the weekend's result dependent. Enjoy the game. Every game a winner. Green and white ribbon, says Maestro 95. Here's hoping that you can all enjoy it today. We say thank you to MPH Group for all your plumbing, heating, kitchen and bathroom needs, and the Navian boiler promotion. Check out them, all the social links to the social media sites and their phone numbers in the description of this video. And they are Scotland's family award-winning all-trade specialist covering all of mainland Scotland. So thank you to MPH Group, our sponsors. And thank you to Ryan. You go and get yourself in the stadium and watch a game of association football. And guys, give us a sub. You know what to do. Hit that subscribe button. www.celticway.co.uk/subscribe. £4 for 4 months of access to everything that's written on our website, or £18 for the year. Can't say fairer than that. www.celticway.co.uk/subscribe. and also hit the YouTube sub as well. If you've not got an account, set one up, and you'll get notified when we're going live, pre-match, post-match, and the morning briefings as well. Ryan, I'll see you about some point after the game. I don't know actually when. Once the work's done.
Once the work is done and we can talk about the game, we'll be back on. But yeah, we will be back on after the game.
Indeed.
Regardless of
4-0 the Hoops. Yep, indeed. Correct. We'll be back on. Win, lose or draw. Hopefully it's the former as opposed to any of the latter. Guys, take care. We'll see you all soon enough. Enjoy the game.